Hey guys, it's EJ from the Snarky Fit Project, and I am so excited that you decided to join me for the 7-day no crap challenge. Now, as soon as I announced this challenge and people started kind of asking me about it and texting me about it, one of the things that came up is coffee creamer. So if you know me at all, you know I love my coffee. You know I can probably drink a pot of it myself. And I do not drink black coffee. I did one time earlier this month, I think, because there was absolutely none available and I was desperate. However, it's not something I do on a regular basis. So let's talk about coffee creamer. Yes, for the next 7 days, I'm gonna be asking you to put aside your coffee mate. Okay, I'm gonna be asking you to put aside your premixes and all of that kind of good stuff. It's just 7 days. I promise, unless somebody comes in and raids your pantry, it'll be there when you finish, right? Okay, so I have two options that I want to share with you for things that you can do instead of that coffee mate or whatever international delight foo-foo coffee creamer that you have. Okay, so your first option is really simple. It's heavy cream. Yes, really, heavy cream. Why? Because it has two ingredients, milk and cream. I didn't say this was the low fat challenge. I didn't say that this was the, I don't know, something that doesn't involve heavy cream. It's heavy cream, that's it, okay? It's 50 calories a tablespoon. It shouldn't absolutely kill you unless you drink buckets of it. This is about eliminating chemicals and fake foods from your diet. It's not about anything else, okay? So heavy cream is one of your options. The other one, which is a non-dairy option, is made with coconut milk, okay? Now, coconut milk comes in these cans, and you wanna look for one that is unsweetened, organic if at all possible, which is becoming more and more readily available. And you wanna look on the back of the container and you want it to say organic coconut and water, okay? Nothing else. No sugars, no thickeners, nothing, just that, okay? So that's what we're gonna start off with. So you're gonna shake this up because it settles, all right? And I'm gonna open it. I couldn't pre-stage this because I would be wearing it. So, okay. And then I'm gonna add this to my blender. There it is. Okay. And if you know me, I'm really cheap, so I'm gonna scrape all of that out so I get every little bit. Okay. The next thing that I'm gonna add is 2 tablespoons, or I'm gonna do a tablespoon and a half actually, of organic virgin coconut oil, okay? Now, coconut oil is one of those, it's solid above 70 degrees, so it's in the high 60s today, so it's kind of semi-gooey. If yours is hard as a rock, you can just stick it in the microwave for a little bit and then it'll thin out. Okay. And that goes in. So now the next thing I'm gonna use is, I'm a big fan of vanilla. So I didn't say that you couldn't have flavor, right? So I'm going to use vanilla. This is vanilla that I got in Mexico, and the ingredients are as pure vanilla, okay? So none of the imitation stuff. If you like hazelnut, if you like anything that comes from a real food, not caramel, unfortunately, but if it has like a real extract. So now this, because this is actually real vanilla, I'm gonna use like a half a teaspoon maybe for this whole thing. Okay, real vanilla. Now, I also like cinnamon. So I have some ground cinnamon here, okay? And I'm gonna just sprinkle in maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon. And last but not least, for a little bit of sweetness, you can use honey, or what I like to use is organic stevia extract. Now, stevia is a sweetener. It comes from the stevia plant, And this one just has organic stevia extract, deionized water, and organic alcohol, and that's just to kind of suspend it. So I'm gonna do, stevia is really, really, really sweet, and so I would use probably the equivalent of like a half a packet. You can get it in the powdered form too, but I think this is a little bit better, so I'm gonna use 4 drops. It's not very much. Okay. And then I'm going to whiz this up. So I'm gonna pause the video. I'll be right back because I hate the sound of a really loud blender. I think it's totally obnoxious. Okay, so I just whizzed up all of my ingredients, right? And now I'm just gonna pour it into a container. You could use a mason jar, or this is a recycled jar that I get my ghee in, which is a clarified butter. So I'm just gonna do that. And there it is. Okay, so how I use this is I take this out of the fridge, I shake it up really good, and then I put a tablespoon of this plus some hot coffee into one of my blender bottles, or you could use the regular blender, and I whip it up for about 20 seconds and pour out this beautiful, creamy, frothy beverage that is absolutely to die for. It is so yummy. You definitely want to try this. In fact, I'm gonna go make some right now, even though it's in the afternoon, but you know what? It's always a good time for coffee. So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Okay, so I just pulled this off the blender and you can see that it has this lovely layer of foam, and I'm going to pour this into a clear mug so you can see it. Normally I would just drink it out of a regular mug, but there you go. Oh, okay. All right, so I love this, obviously. It doesn't have an overpowering coconut flavor to it. It has a creaminess to it. Does it taste different than if you are used to putting in like heavy cream? Yes. And I think that it's probably something that's worth trying because it is so good. It does not have an oily feel in my mouth, which is something that when I first heard about this recipe, I was kind of concerned about, but it is really good. In fact, I'm gonna take another sip. Okay, so let's talk calories, because I know that that's probably a thing that people might be a little bit concerned about, even though this is not a calorie cutting project, okay? But we've done such a great job of demonizing fat over the years that it can be a concern. So, real quick, when I did my math, I got super nerdy and I figured out how many tablespoons would be in that jar that I created, and I'm gonna say that it's about 26 to 28 depending on which products you use, and are you a little heavy-handed with your measuring, or are you a little bit more scant. So I'm assuming that I'm gonna get 28 tablespoons, 26 to 28. When you divide that, okay, so this obviously by itself is not a low calorie thing. If you were to drink this, there's a lot of calories in it. However, by the time you divide it between 26 and 28 times, it comes out to about roughly 30 calories per serving. And this, to me, tastes good enough for 30 calories. And it doesn't have any chemicals or artificial flavorings or colors or anything like that. And so for the next 7 days, I'm totally doing this. I actually do it already, but I'm definitely gonna do it for the next 7 days. So at least give it a try. You can add more stevia if you want. You can sprinkle cinnamon on top. If you don't have a blender, you can use one of these. It's a little whizzer, right? That can work too. So just let me know what you think and if you try it, okay? All right, cheers.